How's the market? Are houses still selling? What about those interest rates? I brought someone in today that's going to help answer all those questions, but first, roll that reel. Hey, Kristen Davis here. The main questions that I have been getting lately are three. First one, how's the market? Second, are houses still selling? And third, tell me about those interest rates. So I figured it was about time for a market update. So I brought my friend along, Jake Boes from Union Home Mortgage, to help answer those questions.
Yeah.
Hey Jake, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing great, thanks. So can you, first off, I really appreciate you coming in and helping do this video. Give me, or our viewers, give us a background on kind of your experience in the mortgage industry.
Yeah, good question. So I started right out of college. I worked under another loan officer, basically poured all of his knowledge into me for about a year. Since then, been on my own. I started with a small company called NOIC. We've since been bought out by Union Home Mortgage and been with them ever since. And it's been a fruitful journey. I've joined some political action committees. I've been to Washington, D.C. lobbying on behalf of the industry. It's been really fruitful and rewarding. So it's been a great ride so far.
Awesome. So you know what you're talking about.
Here and there, once in a while.
All right, so back to those big questions. Obviously, Jake and I here could give you a quick answer and just throw a business card at you. However, we want to serve you better by explaining those, giving a deep dive on those, a couple different things, interest rates, and then the inventory in the market and how those really impact those questions that you have and give a better understanding. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, so first we're going to start with market.
Sure.
So typically you will hear the market described two ways. You'll hear it either called a seller's market or a buyer's market. Now, a seller's market is when there is a limited amount of homes on the market and the houses are going super fast. The buyer's market is the opposite. So you've got a influx of homes and they are taking much longer to sell. A more even market, I would say, for buyers and sellers in this area would be when there's about 3 months home inventory on hand and the homes are selling within, in that median price point, about 40 to 50 days. So for perspective, all of you watching out there, if anyone was buying a home last spring or maybe even in 2021, does anyone want to take a guess on what market that would have been considered? Jake, I'm going to have you help them out.
Yeah, that was a seller's market for sure.
That wild ride was absolutely a seller's market. I'm sure you have some trauma.
Like literally car lines of people waiting to get in the home.
It was nuts. You would know, like you wouldn't even have to look for the for sale sign. Like you would just see the line of cars.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So I apologize if you had to endure that. But yeah, that would definitely be a seller's market. So before I hand this off to Jake to answer some really important questions about interest rates, I'll give you a quick rundown of where our current market is right now. So in Monroe County right now, we have about 1.5 months of inventory on the market right now. And that has rose though since last year. About the same time it was at 1.2, so there is a rise. And then right now, as far as the average amount of days that a home's on the market on that median price point, which here in Monroe County the median is about 215,000 to about 250,000 roughly. That median sales point, those homes are lasting for about 23 days, which again is on a rise for the same time last year. That's your little update on the market. Now, Jake, take it away with those interest rates. How about those rates? Right.
So in a normal product, you have a supply and you have a demand and then it kind of evens out. But the third variable here is the interest rate.
Sure.
And I think that the Fed realized, hey, we're not going to be able to catch up the supply and be able to build enough homes to meet the demand of our buying supply, or our buyer inventory, shall we say. So the only other factor that they had to use was interest rates. And by raising the rates, it's giving more stabilization to the market. Values are still good, but you have this stabilization that's happening now where you can get better terms than you could maybe 2 years ago.
I like how you say stabilization because, again, everyone, again, last spring and 2021, even 2020, people were all like, oh, this is amazing, especially sellers, not buyers, but sellers, this is amazing. But like, that was not healthy and not sustainable.
No.
Like, there's no way, right? Like,
no. And even when the market was good and we were having good years, our management was saying the same. It was like, this isn't good. It looks good on paper, but like this isn't going to last. It's not a long-term solution for the industry as a whole.
So where's the current interest rates now?
We've been sitting around the mid-6s, been there for about the last month. We peaked around 7.5 actually. That would have been like late November, early December.
Okay.
Still in the mid-6 range on a 30-year fixed rate loan if you're well qualified.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I think I heard this somewhere. So let me know if I'm wrong. Like in the last average 30 years, like the average was around that 7% interest rate. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
So we're
about
still
the average.
doing really good.
Yeah.
Like this panic and this fear, we're good.
I had another loan officer say that we're back to normal.
Yeah.
And that's like a decent way to look at it. It's like, yeah, we're back to normal.
I like back to normal.
People always ask me where are rates going to go. Right?
Yeah, no, that's a great question.
Be the fortune teller, and that's
Absolutely.
so difficult.
Get your crystal ball out.
Yeah, nobody really knows.
No.
It depends on who you ask. There are articles out there from major publications that have ideas around where rates are going to go in the future. It depends on who you listen to. Realtor.com, I believe, had their projections maybe in the high 5s by the end of the year. Some of them are projecting to be right where they're at right now. So it just kind of depends who you listen to and their rationale and whether or not you agree with their rationale.
Yeah. From what we're seeing with the market and then what I'm hearing from you, it sounds like we're actually coming into a more steady, healthy market, if you will.
I think so. And company-wide, our stance is that things are going to remain pretty steady throughout the year. There aren't going to be these big roller coaster terms in terms of rates and probably the market as a whole as well.
Well, there you have it. Market sounds like it's going to a good place. If you do have questions, please feel free to reach out and ask, and subscribe and like this channel. And this guy here, he knows what he's talking about. So if you need a mortgage provider, check him up, Jake Boes at Union Home Mortgage. Hope you guys have a great one.